So this is Robert, finally getting around to a narrated version of the November 2015 SVRA Championships at Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas. It was wet, but we had a great time there. The next couple shots show you some of the cars I had to run against in practice, the Audi R8, and then the actual cars I ran against in the races, Formula One V10 with 800 horsepower. Needless to say, I couldn't keep up with him or the 5000s on the back straight. You can see I did make some passes in turn 11 and 12, but had a tough time making them stick. I think I finished 17th out of 22 and basically had a blast with all of the action. There's Bob Morris helping me and Paul Wilson. Paul Wilson and his F5000. This is a shot of the grid. I think it's on Friday. There goes our Formula One. There's a couple Indy Light cars. There's another Formula One there in the red. And the white and blue is an Indy car. There's a stationary Formula One. There goes some 2-liter Formula Atlantics. Another Indy car. Paul Wilson's Formula 5000. 2 Formula Atlantics. Hey, Cal Meeker there. A couple more Formula Atlantics. Another 5000. Another Formula Atlantic. And a Pro Formula Mazda. Another F5000, and on and on. And I was the only Super B. That's a beautiful McLaren Formula 5000 right there. Bruce Leeson, who was in our garage with us. So there's a nice yellow van. There's myself, of course. Another F5000 right behind me. And that was a Ralt, but it was a 2-liter Formula Atlantic.
This is the start of the race.
Why doesn't she put flags out? Oh, that's not the flags. They're down there.
As you saw by the captions, they waved off the first start, which looked pretty good to me. So in the second time around, they had us do an inline start, at least most of us. Cal, get back in line. And the rest of us did a civil, easy start here. The track is 3.4 miles around, so the laps were pretty long, over 2 minutes for most of the cars, including me. I think I ran like 2 minutes and 30 seconds, something like that. As the gauge indicates down in the bottom left-hand corner, and on the map, this is turn 20 going onto the front straight for the start that we just saw from views in the stands. My wife shot that, of course, as usual. That's the Formula Atlantic going by, and this is up the hill into turn 1. I could really break late inside of 100 feet from 75-foot marker and close down on a lot of the faster cars. Through this next session here, the S's, if you will, it's really like turn 3 through about turn 12. I literally just sit and wait here because the ground is a little damp right now. It had been raining, and just being careful, not pass anybody, letting things settle down. And because of the lower amount of horsepower I have about 230, and probably most every other car has at least 30 horsepower more than me. Some of them as much as 200 or 300 horsepower or more, and a few of them as much as 600 horsepower more. The point of that being is that I could pass them through the tight sections or get close to them under braking and things, but on the back straight here that you're about to see us go from turn 11 down to turn 12, I just could not stay with them, or they could pass me, however you want to put it. Truth is, I didn't mind. It made for a lot of action, had a lot of fun. A couple cars like those I was able to pass and make it stick. Everybody was being pretty careful with the track. The white and red striped curbing that you see was pretty wet still, pretty slippery. You can see a lot of damp spots on the track, so most people were being smart for a change. we're now in the stadium section, if you will, or turn 13, 14, 15, 16, right through here. And throughout the day I was pretty fast through here, and as you can see, even on this first lap, I'm catching up a lot of cars. That's not too unusual because just of the congestion and stuff, so I didn't get too excited at this point. The car that's directly in front of me is a early 1970s Formula Atlantic. He's got a little bit less horsepower than the other Formula Atlantics because his is naturally aspirated a carburetor, no fuel injection or anything. And he's a friend of mine from the West Coast here, Philippe, and I'm able to stay with him quite a bit and have some good passes on him, as you'll see. So this is the end of the first lap. I'm going to stop the narration for a while, and we'll just run the second lap. During the second lap, you'll see at least 5, maybe 6 different passes. As you saw, Philippe passed me back, and then I followed the 5,000 that went by to pass Philippe back again. Philippe didn't think that was too nice, so he comes shooting down the inside here, and I saw him coming, so I left him some room. He did a nice job there to keep from running off the end of the corner there. I stayed pretty close through him here, and I do this next couple laps thinking that I'm going to be able to stay close enough on the front straight to get ahead of him going into turn 3, the twisty S section, and maybe get a gap so that he can't pass me on the back straight. But as you'll see here in a second, this is turn 19, I catch him, turn 20, I catch him, but I just can't stay close enough to him on the front straight to get it past on in turn 1. There goes F5000, the white one that just went by, and there's Philippe, and I'm trying to outside over under him here. I think I have a pretty good shot at it, but again, he just kicks in those RPM and away he goes here. I shouldn't say away he goes, he just is able to stay in front so that I can't make a real clean pass in here. I almost, I think, make an attempt to pass him on the outside coming around this next corner. But again, offline, the track's still a little damp, etc., so I'm not thinking that's too smart. Right here, I'm really having to hold up, thinking I might try here. No, better not, you know. Basically, just making sure I keep my car in one piece. I think right here is, I almost pass him going down in here, and it kind of chops off. I don't think he realized I was so close, yeah. Hey, look out, Philippe. And then I think I pass him anywhere in turn 12 right there again. I go around the outside, see if that works better. No. Just could not get enough power down quick enough to to hang with them. Couldn't even draft them here, as you can see. It's pretty funny watching the F5000s go by that fast, and the Formula One I think does it on the next lap, and it's just hysterical how fast it goes by. Bob, if you happen to watch this video, see what my tach's doing. I forgot to tell you about that. I'll send you this so you can watch it. And here we go again through the tight section. Formula One goes by like it's shot out of a gun, doesn't it? It sounds so cool. I hope you heard it there as it went by in that last clip. So lap 4 here is relatively quiet. There's only 2 passes, and as on the previous laps, I catch up through the S's here, get up behind Philippe at turn 10, and then pass him down into turn 11. Goes onto the back straight, and then of course he blows by me again. I think I'll just go back to native audio for a second here and watch this, the rest of this. So you probably saw me wave as Philippe went by. I was getting kind of silly about it because every time I pass him, he'd go right back by, so I'm just kind of waving at him. We're in the back of the pack, but we're having a lot of fun. Usually cars tend to stretch out and aren't able to see each other very often, but the nature of this track, which is very fast, high-speed sections, as I mentioned, like the back straight, and then this current one that I'm in, the stadium section, there's 4 or 5 corners on the track there. You're below 40, 50 miles an hour. And then this high-speed, long right-hand corner here is really good for my car with the high downforce. It allows me to catch up with these big horsepower cars, so we get to see each other a lot, as you can tell. And here we go into turn 20 on the front straight again. Lap 5 is coming up. There'll be about 4 more passes, pretty similar to what you've been seeing. But I'm going to go back to native audio and we'll watch that. as you can see, Philippe and I have caught up to a blue and white car. It's hard to tell from here, but I know it's a 2004 Formula Pro Mazda. A little bit more horsepower than me, but it's about 20 years younger than my car, so a lot different suspension and more gears in the gearbox, and should be quite a bit quicker than both of us. You saw me pass Philippe, Philippe passed me back, so there comes an F5000. I'm thinking maybe I can use him to get past them, but doesn't work out. But I do pass the F5000 back on the braking, and I thought that was funny. I'm actually laughing in the cockpit at this point. And I know he's going to be a little clumsy through this section and have to stay behind me to the front straight, so he'll probably pass me on the front straight. Anyway, my goal at this point is try to pass Philippe, but I know that's, even when I do it, that's not sticking. Whoops. Out over what they call the turtles, big yellow humps that can kind of damage the bottom of the car. Anyway, back to driving here. I'm trying to, Philippe just passed the Formula Mazda, so I'm thinking if Philippe can do it, I probably can too, but I'll have the same concerns as when I pass him if I can make it stick. So let's see what happens here. Here's last lap, turn 1, Philippe and the Pro Mazda in front of me, and as you saw from that exterior shot, the Formula 5000 is right behind me. That's the one I passed going into turn 12. I know I can't keep him behind me on the back straight, but I'm thinking if I can catch a Mazda, which I do quite easily through here, that I can pass him on turn 12, and maybe if I can draft the F5000 when he goes by or something, I'll be able to stay in front of him. So that's the plan at the moment. I'm driving a pretty good line here, and my chances are looking pretty good here at passing him. Almost pass him right here, but down turn this little kink there. Kind of do pass him there. And then he tries to outbrake me here, but that's pretty tough for him to do against my car. My car gets weighed at the end of this event, which is the first time it has. It weighs 1,055 pounds without me in it, and has about 230 horsepower, so that's about 4.3 pounds per horsepower. Whoops, couldn't keep him behind me, but the F5000 is going to pull over, help me out, and block him. I repass, and now through the S's, I know I'll be able to keep him behind me. And oops, lucky me, there's another car broken, so now I've got another pass. So that makes like 5 passes here in the last lap, depending on how you count. Anyway, I'll go back to native audio, and we'll watch the race end here. Interior and exterior shots of the checkered flag, and this is just cooling down here going into turn 1. You can see there were only like 22 cars running towards the end of the race. We started with 35 or 40 on Friday. The rain and just problem cars kept a few away here on the last day. That's what the rain was like the week before we got there. That's about 14, 15 feet of water in the tunnels. Coda and SVR did a great job getting it ready. So Sherry and Bob and myself only had to do this once Saturday morning. This is where I got weighed. The car has 4.5 pounds for each horsepower. This is my crazy wife sitting in a $300,000 car that was going to be auctioned. It's an SLR McLaren. There's my gold medal for first in class, only F2 class technically. Two guys that took a picture of us all here at the end because we had Graham Collins and Paul Wilson and Brian Leesom and myself, of course, and Sherry, Bob's wife, and Guy and John at Campo.